Hello everyone. I have somebody new in my studio. This is Barbara. Barbara and I got to know each other a number of years ago. I used to walk my other dog through her neighborhood and we got to know each other that way. Now she attends my Bible study weekly at our church, and I asked her if she would be willing to let me do her makeup. And so we're going to have some fun today. Now, she did agree to tell you all how old she is. So how old are you, Barbara?
I'm one of her senior members. I am 83.
83. She looks amazing. And this woman is like high energy, go, go, go. I love it. I hope I have that kind of energy at her age. And she just told me, I just found out yesterday that she used to actually sell Avon. So she loves makeup and skincare and is into all this stuff. But we're going to introduce her to a few new things. I am going to use almost all drugstore makeup on her today. We're going to do light and easy. But there's a couple of things that she brought that she absolutely loves. Die hard about her eyeliner. We like stockpile it. She makes sure she has backups. And then also for her lip products that she uses. We'll show those at the end. So I'm going to incorporate those into a look for her, and we're just going to have some
Unless
fun.
you have a better idea.
Okay.
For the eye stuff, you know, or the lip, whatever. You know.
Okay.
But
You're open. You're open to whatever we end up doing.
I'm one of the 80 ladies.
We love it. I've had so many requests, especially recently. They said, we need somebody with gray hair on your channel. So here we go. We've got a beautiful model for you today.
I fit that bill.
Yes, we do. All right, we're going to get started. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I will link all of the products we're using in the description box down below. And now let's get going. I'm just going to start off with a little bit of Bioderma. She doesn't have any makeup on, just a little lip liner.
That's it.
That's what she was comfortable in.
I tried to go with nothing. I
cannot.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So we're just going to do a quick clean, and then we'll add a little skincare and skin prep. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of toner. This is the Thayer's Coconut Water Toner. Love it. It's alcohol-free. Something new I'm going to put on, this is the Timeless Hyaluronic Acid. That's all it is. It's a serum. So she usually uses La Roche-Posay, the Double Repair Face Moisturizer UV. So this has her moisturizer and SPF in. Now I'm going to use the Embryolisse Late Cream. This is just so good if you have dry skin. There's no fragrance. It's very friendly to sensitive skin, but it's a very thick hydrating cream as well.
Okay, so this would be in place of the La Roche.
Yes. Okay. And then I just like to do, I usually do a separate moisturizer and sunscreen. So I usually keep those separate.
Yes.
Just because then you can add more moisture if you need to before your sunscreen. You don't feel like you're having to just keep piling.
I agree.
I'm going to next apply a little bit of eye cream. And this is the 100% pure coffee bean caffeine eye cream. And this just helps not only hydrate, and look up for me, but it also, the caffeine helps with dark circles and puffiness.
Okay.
And you can use, and you can use this morning and night. Now I'm going to do a little lip prep for her. This is not drugstore, but it is worth using. This is the City Lips, and it is a plumping gloss, but it has you will not feel any plumping or anything like that. So it's not painful, but it's very, very hydrating.
Just for help the health
just
of the lip.
to help plump up the lips. Now let's go in. Let's see. We'll test your skin. Oh, it feels nice and hydrated. How does it feel?
Good.
Feel okay? All right.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
All right. So I'm going to use, this is the CeraVe Mineral Hydrating SPF 30, but it's the tinted. It does come in non-tinted, but I don't recommend that one. That one will give you a white cast. Okay. So this is a pretty good tint, I feel like, for you have the yellow undertones like I do. And so I feel like it looks like it's going to be, you know, a lot of color, but it's actually not a whole lot of color. It's just a little bit. So if you're just wanting to run out, you know, to the store or something, and you don't want to apply any extra coverage, this will give you a tiny little bit of coverage.
So this is just a creamy moisture, colored creamy moisture. Okay, tinted.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to introduce her to an eyeshadow primer. She's never used one, and we're not going to use a ton of eyeshadow on her, but you said that you have some difficulties with your eyeliner kind of traveling, right? So we're going to use an eyeshadow primer to help give longevity to your eyeliner.
Okay.
So eyeshadow primer, you don't have to just put this above your lids. You can actually put it on your lower lash line as well, which is what we're going to do. And I'm going to gift this to her, so I'm going to apply directly using the applicator. And it's just clear, and it has a little bit of a silicone feel, so I feel like it almost can kind of fill in a little bit of texture on the lids. You actually have really nice lids, eyelids. You don't have tons of texture, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, sure. All right, so close your eyes for me. And you don't need to apply too much. I'm just gonna apply a little bit here. So we'll start on the upper lid first. So now look up for me. And I'm just going to do a little bit along the lash line here. And again, it's clear, it dries clear. And I'm just gonna put it right where we would put our liner, or where we're going to put our liner later.
Okay.
And you do have beautiful blue eyes. You really do.
Really?
We'll
Thank
make
you.
those stand out even with your...
They're kind of blue-gray, no?
Yeah. Do you find, depending on what you're wearing?
Well, yeah.
So I'm going to use just a couple shades from here. We're just going to highlight under her brow bone, and then we're going to just maybe put a little brightness on her lid. We're not going to do probably any shimmer. We're going to leave the kind of pop of color for your liner.
Okay.
And this is an all matte one. This is the Bite Size Eyeshadow I Love You a Latte.
Oh, cute.
That's cute, right?
Cute.
So I'm going to just put a little tiny bit of this under the brow, and it's not going to be super apparent, but I'm just going to put a little bit of this here on the lid, and this will just kind of conceal just lightly any discoloration on the lid. And this is just a super easy thing you can do. I mean, you know, a couple taps in, swipe it on. You don't have to do any fancy blending. And then I am going to do one color through the crease. This is the Morphe M504. This is available at Ulta. So I'm just going to go in, I think, with a little bit of the cream shade and then a touch in this kind of cool brown color.
Okay.
And close your eyes. And I'm just going to put a tiny little bit through the crease. You are blessed. You don't have hooded eyes, so we don't have to, you know, create a fake crease. So just giving a little definition. And because this palette has kind of these gradations of colors, I feel like it's really easy to just blend everything together. Like, you don't even have to think about, oh, what colors are going to go with what, you know. It's real easy.
I think that's a great idea.
The one last thing I'm going to do instead of, we'll just keep your green line. So on the upper lash line, just to add a tiny little definition on the upper lash line, I think shadow can be easier up there than a liner.
Really?
You know, trying to get it across.
Okay.
So I'm just going to take another small brush from the Real Techniques line and go into that dark brown. And I'm just going to smudge a little bit of this into the roots of the lashes. And because we're using powder, if you make a mistake, it's real easy to just blend it away. Whereas, you know, a liner, you kind of feel like you're stuck.
You were stuck.
It's just...
You've got a green line going.
Yeah. You're okay. This brown is like the perfect brown for your eye color too, because it does have a hint of warmth of that reddish tone. So I think you're going to notice that it brings out the blue of your eye. Okay, I'm just going to do a touch in here and here. And this is a rougher number 01. So Real Techniques has a brush like this. I just don't have it anymore. So look down for me. All right, so now we are going to do her Ride or Die product that she has been using daily, basically, for the last 5+ years.
5+.
And this is one of her favorites from Avon. It's the Glimmer, and the color's worn off, but I'm sure you know. Emerald. Okay, so Emerald is the color. And so we're going to do this. She loves to do this on her lower lash line, which is where I love to do a little pop of color. So we're going to put this on her lower lash line, and we're going to smudge it in real softly with our brush. And we are going to use this brush. It's super, super soft. You can easily smudge it in so you don't have to get your line perfect. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and first apply. So look up for me. And I'm just going to go. Now, I'm not going in the waterline. I did a whole video about that. We're just going right below the lashes, and we'll smudge it into the lash line. And then you said you do have issues with it kind of going towards your tear duct. So we're going to make sure we don't go all the way in.
Or here,
or into the outer.
It just says, it makes a little pocket there.
Okay, so we're going
a green
to...
pocket that you
yeah,
touch,
we don't want
and then
that.
it's a
and
really green.
I'll be interested to see how it wears today with that eyeshadow primer, if you feel like it really helps it stay put, because the eyeshadow primer should, because I think these are supposed to be waterproof, right? The glimmers?
Yes, I think, yes.
So in general, they should stay. So where you're getting kind of that movement is probably just a little bit from the oils, kind of maybe under your lash line. Now, normally, do you go all the way in, or do you stop about kind of where I am?
Stop there,
stop about there, yeah.
Yeah.
I think any further, and it can, you know, fully close off the eye. Add a little bit of some mascara. Do you put mascara on your lower lashes? A little bit? Or?
I do.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go in, same brush, and I'm going to add just a touch of this neutral shade right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to take this just right here on the end of
So you're
where
going
we
right
stopped.
over the...
Yeah, just
green.
a little bit, just right towards the inner part. And it's just going to kind of give it a little bit of a fade. And then right in the outer corner, I'm going to take a little bit of the dark brown on that same brush. And I'm just going to touch this right here. Now this also will help set your liner in place. So I'm just doing that. And it's connecting to the upper lash line, but it's also setting it in place, so you should not get any travel of your eyeliner.
Okay.
I like to go under the eyes with a little bit of almond oil. So even though we basically have no eyeshadow fallout, if you were doing your eyeshadow and you had like, you know, little flakes of brown, you know, eyeshadow, and you want to clean it up real fast, you can use your micellar water, but I love to do almond oil. Almond oil is a hydrating oil, but it soaks in super fast into the skin. When you're going to add any kind of concealer, anything under your eyes, you want to make sure it's well hydrated. I'm going to introduce you to something that I have just been introduced myself. So this is the Almay Ageless Smart Shade Foundation. It starts off white and then it adjusts to your skin tone.
Really?
So you don't have to worry about finding the exact precise shade. Now there are slight differences between fair, light. I think you're probably in the light realm, and we're just gonna see how you like this, how it looks.
You put it on with a brush.
Well, you can do this one with your hands for sure, or a sponge, a beauty sponge, a damp beauty sponge. That will give you a lighter coverage. So if you ever feel like it's looking a little heavy, you can take a sponge and take a lot off some of the excess. But I think hopefully you will love how this sits. So again, we're not going to spackle our wrinkles, right? And look to your right for me. Let's see. But we want just a little bit of coverage. So you mentioned, you know, some dark spots and, you know, maybe just a little bit of uneven skin tone here and there. And this is just going to even things out, but it's not going to look heavy like you're wearing a ton of makeup or foundation. And in fact, if we do our job right, it really shouldn't look visible at all. How does that feel on your skin?
It feels nice.
Does it feel nice? Okay,
yes,
good. Well, and I think there's something about applying it with a brush too. It just feels like
it's just
having
so
experience.
luxurious.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. That's what we want. You've come to the spa, Sharalee.
Yeah, really.
Now this is the, you know, slightly tricky part of when you have lighter colored hair is you want to make sure, you know, that you're blending everything, even though you wear your bangs down lower. We're going to make sure that we like, and I'm taking the back side of the brush and I'm not where I have much makeup at all or any, and I'm going to use that just to feather it into the hairline, because you definitely, it is, you know, adding some color to your face. And so you just want to make sure that it doesn't look like, you know, you're wearing a mask here.
Right.
Well, you're blessed. You really don't have hardly any dark circles. Like, you really don't even need color correction we're just going to do a tiny little bit of concealing. We might use a new one. Now, this is a risk. I've never used this before, but it's the Almay Ageless Hydrating Concealer. And I'm going to use a Real Techniques. This is one of their concealer brushes. And now, again, little tiny bit. So let's see, look up for me. And I'm just going to do a touch here, the inner corner. And really the goal with you is we're just going to, I don't like to bring foundation up under the eyes because the skin is thinner under there, and sometimes the foundation's thicker. And so when you bring it up, it's gonna sink into your lines worse than a good concealer. So we're just gonna use the tiniest little bit on you just to even out the color under your eyes here. And you can see I'm keeping most of that color just here in the inner corner. If you can keep it away from the areas that you have the most creasing, or you just kind of feather a little bit in there, that is the best way. Well, it looks really nice. So we'll see how it sets and sinks in. I like the texture of that a lot. So we may have found a new winner. But she does love the NYX Fill and Fluff eyebrow pencil. That's usually what she uses in espresso. So we're going to try the e.l.f. This is their newest version of their Instant Lift. This is the waterproof brow pencil, and it is in the shade gray. So we get to create our own eyebrows on Barbara. So if you know, the trick is we're going to start we're going to place our pencil here on the inside of the nose. And so that gives us kind of like the starting point. And then you can take your pencil across, so from the end of the nose kind of through the center of the eye, and that is where our arch is going to be. A little bit there. And this just helps, especially if you're starting from scratch and you're just like, well, I don't know, and you're trying to kind of keep it even. And then from the bottom of the nose kind of going to the side of the eye, this is where we want it to stop. So we're going to just and then we just kind of connect the dots, so to speak. So I think it's an easy way if you're starting from scratch. And then, so now I'm just going to feather real lightly. We're going to just kind of go, and I'm going to kind of create a light little outline here, and we'll just kind of see what we think. Okay, so the gray is okay, but I think the tone of the gray is a little bit more blue, and I think you've got a little bit of some warmth in your gray, just a little bit. So it's okay, but I'm going to see what happens if we add just a little bit of your brown through it. Okay. Because I think that's the trick, is you do have to just kind of play to find, you know, the perfect shade. Oh yeah, this is quite warm, so it will kind of balance out the coolness of the gray. So I think the gray is a good base, but I think for you alone, it might be, I don't know, I'll have to look at the taupe color and see if that would be like right on its own. This one's pretty good. I could see it being a little too warm though by itself, maybe.
It's been a long
time. All right, so she just curled her lashes for the first time in like, I don't know, 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
So we use the rougher, and these are, let's see, this is the 18R one. So the shape of your curler does matter, just FYI. So not every eyelash curler works on every eye shape. So she has a hard time with her lashes staying curled and lifted, and she hates her current mascara. We won't say which one it is, but it's a natural one. So, so I'm going to give her my secret of the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer Mascara first. And then I'm going to gift her, this is a sample size of the Lancome Idole Mascara, Lash Idole. This one is, in my opinion, one of the best if you have a hard time holding curl. And it also is one that it's not super clumpy. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of bronzer now. So she does use a bronzer. So she's been to Marshall's and Ellen Tracy. I've actually never personally used her makeup, but we're just going to try something new on her. So this is Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer.
Oh, nice.
And you can kind of smell still, but it smells like the beach, you know, coconut sunscreen kind of thing.
Yes, it does.
So what's great about this is it's not shimmery, but it's not flat matte. So it has a little bit of some shine, like satin finish. This would be the perfect brush. I don't have mine anymore, but this would work perfectly. So you don't have to buy any brush, but I'm just going to use the Rougher 05 brush on her because I have that clean. And we're just going to do the tops of the cheeks. And we were talking about how she doesn't think she needs the contour. And I agree. You don't need to like chisel out your cheeks because you have really nice cheekbones and you have the hollows already there that people like me are trying to create. So you have the nice slim face already, so you don't even need that. But I really feel like this just transforms the face, you know, adding a little color.
Because I'm interested in that when you said that slim, I have had a round face, sort of full face when I was 20.
Okay, yes.
Which a long time ago. But I do notice that my face shape has changed. And it was very recent.
All right, so we just added a little bit of color and kind of where the sun would kiss your face, like if you got too much sun. So high points of the face would be like top of the, right above your eyebrow here, and the tops of the cheeks, a little over the nose, and then you can do here. Nothing crazy, but, and because we're not powdering, that's the other thing is you want to make sure you're using a big fluffy brush because otherwise it can grab on.
Yes.
But we're not powdering because we want to keep all the moisture. And so with the right tools, you can do that without powdering, but I am using powder. Now there are some wonderful cream bronzers out there as well. This is the Almay So Peachy. This is so beautiful. I just thought we would try a little bit of this on you. So it has, again, just a tiny little bit of a sheen, but we're gonna go in with a super light hand and then I might tone it down with a little bit of some highlighter. So I'm just gonna start right here and go forward because I don't wanna get too much color, you know, right here and have to blend it out.
Okay.
So, but because you're wanting to add maybe a little more fullness, if you wanna add a little fullness, you're gonna bring that color in kind of under your eye a little bit closer.
Oh, that's where that would, I wondered about that.
All right, and then I'm going to add a little bit of, this is the Essence Pure Nude. It's a highlighter, but again, it's just a sheen. So you see that? It just adds a little bit of glow, but it's not shimmery.
That's what we need. Glow.
Yes, we need glow. I'm gonna use this Real Technique setting brush. And so look up for me. We're just gonna go a little bit here. And I'm gonna go tops of the cheeks. And this is also a great way just to kind of mute down your blush. You can also go over it with your foundation brush, which we may do at the end anyway, just to kind of, you know, blend everything together. All right, so now here we are, but we need some lips. So I'm gonna use a little bit of the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot just around the edge of the lips. And this is technically, it's not drugstore. Sorry, not drugstore. But this is something I use on myself just to even out my lip line, but it also will help prevent any bleeding. I just use a tiny little bit around the edge of the lips. Okay, so her secret is she just wears lip liner. And do you fill in your whole lip with it? Or just, okay. So she has 3 different ones. They're all LA colors, which we're not sure are still available. But what would you say is your favorite?
The chocolate.
The chocolate.
Definitely.
We're gonna let you see yourself, and then we'll add maybe a little twist on your lip color. I just finished off by adding a little bit of this Flight 7D. This is the lip sheer in the shade Rome. And I think this is a beautiful color. So it just toned down the brown.
Yeah.
It brought a little hint of berry. And I mean, it's closer to actually what your natural lip color, I think, kind of is. So it looks more natural.
Okay.
And that tone with your blue eyes, it also brings out the blue of her eyes. So, okay, well, here she is.
It's very nice.
Is it
Thank
nice?
you.
Does
It's
it look
very
nice?
nice.
Yeah.
I haven't looked this way, this finished and polished and wow.
And how does the, like your skin, does it feel nice? Yeah. She's looking beautiful. She's got her glasses on and she really loves the finished lip look. So
It's really nice. It feels good. I feel very
the face feels
like I can
hydrated.
smile. And,
Good.
You know, it's not a crack.
That's what we like. Yeah, we
Yes.
like to have our feelings fresh.
Thing.
Yes. And she's made now friends with Gracie. You just hear Gracie now, but she's been good. So
it's been great. Yeah. It's been great. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Thanks for coming. We had fun. She came to the Sharalee's spa.
Beautiful studio.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Perfectly done.
Yes.
Perfectly done.
Sweet. Thank you. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Again, check the description box down below for a list and links to everything that we used. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching.